Join us as we unlock doors best left unopened and journey deep into history's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. The boys of Yuba County never came home. The night air bit harshly as the snowstorm rolled in over the remote mountains east of Yuba County in 1978. Amidst howling winds and looming shadows, 5 men, known as the boys, though in their 20s and 30s, vanished into the icy darkness after an ordinary basketball game. Their car, abandoned on a snow-covered road, stood out starkly against the silent wilderness. The cold seemed to swallow every trace of their footsteps. Locals recalled how they inexplicably booked a strange 70-mile journey, veering far from their homes. Were they lured or lost in a frozen maze? Days later, when authorities braved the thaw, the chilling scene unfolded, for bodies found. One inside a trailer stuffed with untouched food, starved to death, an unlit propane heater ticking quietly nearby. The others lay outside, with some families only clinging to scattered bones. Not a single clue explained the baffling deaths or the fate of the 5th man, still missing to this day. Search parties scoured the tangled forest, piecing together a grim puzzle. Police reports spoke of their limited mental capacity, but gave no answers for the eerie choice of route or final resting places. Was it accident, foul play, or something unseen? Speculations bubbled among the locals, whispering of a malevolent presence or a cruel twist of fate. Some hikers swore they felt strange chills near where the bodies were found. Unexplainable sounds echoed through the trees. The tale grew into a ghost story, haunted by silent screams. Even after decades, Yuba County holds its breath, shrouded in winter's endless night, keeping its dead secrets close. The boys disappeared into the snow, and so did the truth. The first person to capture motion vanishes forever. The rhythmic clatter of train wheels echoed through the late summer air in Dijon, France, 1890. The station platform was enveloped in a haze of coal smoke and distant lamplight, passengers shivering beneath long coats. Louis Lou Prince, a reserved inventor with keen eyes, boarded a train bound for Paris, his pockets holding the secrets of a revolutionary age. Just 2 years earlier, Lou Prince had stood on the Leeds Bridge in England, gently cranking the world's first motion picture camera as horses ambled by and sunlight flickered across cobblestones. He had beaten Edison and the Lumiere brothers to capture movement on film, patenting ingenious single-lens and 16-lens devices. The dawn of a new art form flickered within the reels in his workshop. But on that September day, Lou Prince never arrived. Friends waited in vain. French police, then Scotland Yard, searched for months, combing records, pressing witnesses, trailing rumors through fields and crowded cities. His family pleaded for leads, rivals speculated, the public whispered about stolen patents and industrial sabotage. Yet the only trace left was that final, ghostly train ride through the haze. In the years that followed, tales of shadowy figures and hidden hands multiplied. A body matching Lou Prince's description was fished from the Seine, but no connection was ever proven. Some theorized Edison's involvement, others the jealous rivals of the exploding Parisian film scene. But every clue went cold, and motion pictures advanced without their first pioneer. To this day, as cinema glimmers on screens worldwide, the story of Lou Prince haunts the frame, a vanished inventor and an invention stolen by the shadows. USS Cyclops, Disappearance in the Deep. Spring, 1918. The USS Cyclops, a steel giant with a crew of over 300, cut a slow, heavy path across the Atlantic. The tropical air was thick with salt and tension as the ship, loaded with 11,000 tons of manganese for the war effort, left Barbados for Baltimore. Lights flickered in the officers' quarters as sailors muttered about the coming storm. On open water, the Cyclops was a floating city, engines humming into the abyss. But after her last radio dispatch, a dreadful silence swept across the ocean. No distress call, no sightings. She had vanished utterly, swallowed whole, as if by some monstrous unseen force. The Navy launched the most extensive search in its history, combing the Bermuda Triangle's fathomless blue. Wives waited, shipmates traded rumors, sabotage, mutiny, a rogue tidal wave, the pull of the mysterious Puerto Rico Trench. Not a scrap of debris came ashore, not a single life raft found. Theories circled endlessly: metal fatigue, German U-boats, raging storms, but all lacked proof. Even the Navy, usually stoic, could only mutter. All attempts to locate her have proved unsuccessful. Some swore they smelled oil on the breeze or heard a distant whistle over the waves, as if Cyclops still wandered beneath the sea. Now, more than a century on, nothing has been recovered. The ocean keeps her secret deep, a silent, blue eternity between the living and the lost. Etienne Bottineau, the man who saw across the sea. A sultry wind carried whispers through the taverns of Mauritius in the 18th century. The distant pounding of hooves mixed with the clangor of surf on coral reefs. Inside smoky walls, bets were placed and mouths gaped at Etienne Bottineau, an unassuming Frenchman with eyes that fixed on horizons no one else could see. Bottineau claimed he could predict the arrival of ships long before their sails crested the horizon. He called it noscopy, the art of detecting fleets from 350 to 700 miles away. Turning his gaze skyward, he would quietly announce the number and expected arrival time. To the amazement of officials and gamblers alike, his predictions proved uncannily accurate. News of his talent made its way to colonial authorities, but by the time Bottineau journeyed to France to demonstrate his gift, revolution swept the land, and the secret died with him. He passed away in Pondicherry, his mysterious senses untested by science. Later tales tried to explain his power. Some suspected atmospheric changes, animal behaviors, the bloom of certain clouds. But no one could reproduce noscopy, and no modern research has provided a satisfying answer. Some scientists argue that Bottineau was merely observant or lucky, but the greatest minds of the era could only shake their heads in bafflement. Like a whisper trailing off across the ocean, Bottineau's art faded from memory, a talent swallowed by time, as mysterious as the ships he once saw drifting toward an unseen shore. Twin shadows, the enigma of Linha Sao Pedro. In the rural quiet of southern Brazil lies Linha Sao Pedro, a village where morning mists drift above fields, and every lane seems to echo with laughter. Yet beneath this peaceful veneer lurked a genetic riddle. Here, twins are born at a staggering 10 times the average rate. Neonatal cries ring in harmony, double, triple, quadruple. Locals whispered about the twin capital, while scientists scratched their heads. In the 1960s, stories multiplied. A German doctor with a notorious past, Joseph Mengele, the Angel of Death, supposedly visited the region, performing dark experiments. Families remembered an uptick in twins. Could a monster's meddling have changed the village forever? Geneticists, anthropologists, and journalists trekked to the town, drawing blood, mapping family trees, cataloging every birth. Their research revealed an inherited genetic anomaly, but the high density of twins remained unexplained. Most experts dismissed the Mengele legend as rumor. Statistical chance, mixed with founder effects and isolation, seemed the most likely explanation. Still, some villagers recounted seeing strange men with suitcases or feeling eyes linger on back roads. The scientific world nodded, but the mystery remained. Why here and nowhere else on Earth? Recent studies continue to search for a specific genetic or environmental trigger, yet the secret clings stubbornly to the soil of Linha Sao Pedro. Families still gather in pairs, the story passed on as old farmers point out the birthplaces of twins, old and young, wondering if their legacy is a gift, a curse, or an unsolvable puzzle. A teen's last walk, the unsolved murder of Blake Chappell. The Georgia night was thick with humidity on October 15, 2011, as 17-year-old Blake Chappell walked home from a school dance, his tuxedo shoes crunching over wet leaves. Streetlights flickered, frogs croaked by the creek, and Blake's cell phone buzzed between excited texts with friends. He told his mother it was the best night of his life. After a quick visit to see his girlfriend, against the agreed plan, Blake was last seen walking back to his friend's house. He never made it. Morning brought a rising dread. Within hours, missing posters fluttered from lampposts, officers combed the darkened woods, and his mother clung to desperate hope. For 2 months, the search dragged on. Melissa received a chilling phone call, the crackle of a television in the background, silence on the other line, her son's name echoing unanswered into the static. In December, Blake's body surfaced near a creek, a single gunshot ending all dreams. Police ruled out initial suspects, including a man who had previously assaulted Blake and threatened him over a love triangle. Forensic evidence proved elusive, and investigative leads faded into dead ends. Recently, re-examinations have brought fresh scrutiny, but no closure. Unanswered questions linger. The silence after that dance broken only by the persistent drip of rain on the creek and the cold shiver loitering in every parent's heart. The killer, like Blake's final steps, has faded into the darkness, leaving a permanent scar in the heart of Sharpsburg. The Phantom Raiders, the enigma of the Sea Peoples. The roar of surf battered the Egyptian coast around 1200 BCE as anxious scribes inscribed warnings into tablets. They came from the sea in their warships and none could stand against them, read one chilling text from the ruined city of Tanis. Torches flickered across battered walls, and in the harbors, smoke drifted skyward from burning ships. For centuries, entire civilizations, Hittite, Mycenaean, Cypriot, crumbled. Their attackers, known only as the Sea Peoples, struck with ferocity and vanished as quickly as they had come. Pharaohs marshaled armies, spies and scouts ranged distant shores, seeking rumors of the invaders' true homeland. All found was devastation. Toppled cities, shattered statues, terrified survivors muttering about warriors from across the endless blue. Modern archaeologists sifted through tombs, studied crumbling tablets, and examined burned-out towns. At best, they pieced together tantalizing fragments, pottery suggesting Italian, Etruscan, or Mycenaean origins, weapons reminiscent of Philistine craft, mysterious inscriptions mingling among ruins from Troy to Egypt. None could pinpoint their true identity. Some hypothesized climate catastrophe or famine drove the Sea Peoples to desperate migration. Others suggested secret cabals, mercenary fleets, or disgraced expatriates seeking revenge against their homelands. Even with cutting-edge genetic testing and satellite scans, the raiders' fate and origins remain veiled in salt and dust. Every windstorm off the Mediterranean seems to carry their ghosts. Historians still argue, were they refugees, conquerors, or something both more human and more unknowable? Stolen Night, the Gardner Museum heist. The hush of early morning blanketed Boston's Fenway neighborhood on March 18, 1990. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum, its halls heavy with priceless art, was disturbed only by the faint ping of a security bell and the click of leather shoes on marble. Two men in police uniforms slipped through the doors, unchallenged. Inside, masterpieces by Vermeer, Rembrandt, Manet, and Degas adorned the walls. The thieves worked fast, methodically cutting paintings from their frames and shoving them into duffel bags, the scrape of blades on canvas echoing through empty galleries. Unlucky guards were tied and silenced, locked away as the robbers disappeared into darkness. Police flooded the scene, flashbulbs popping, but the art, 13 treasures worth over $500 million, was gone forever. Leads brought them little but dead ends. Whispers of mob involvement, art hidden behind basement walls, secretive meetings with known criminals. The museum offered untold rewards. The FBI hunted across continents, but every trail grew cold. Some investigators claimed to know the identities of the thieves, but no charges were stuck. Even recent searches, employing AI technology and undercover stings, have only added new theories without closing old wounds. Now, empty frames hang in the museum, silent reminders of what vanished that night. Some visitors swear they feel watched, as if the stolen paintings themselves wait to be rediscovered or avenged. The air remains heavy, the mystery unsolved, its echoes haunting every brushstroke left behind. The vanished DA, the disappearance of Ray Gricar. The hum of traffic faded behind Center County's winding roads as Ray Gricar, district attorney for 2 decades, set out in his Mini Cooper one ordinary day in 2005. Spring air carried the scent of fresh rain and new leaves brushing the windows. Gricar never came home. Police found the Mini parked near a riverbank. Gricar's laptop lay nearby, its hard drive removed and tossed into the icy current. Questions multiplied like shadows at dusk. Foul play, suicide, deliberate disappearance. No note, no sign. Colleagues combed office records, dredged local politics, and pondered his decision not to prosecute Penn State's Jerry Sandusky, a choice that would later gain infamous relevance. Theories spiraled, links to organized crime, silent enemies made through years in law, the burden of secrets too heavy to bear. Some believed Gricar had run away to start a new life, vanishing into the American wilderness. Others saw a pattern matching the fates of other missing prosecutors from the region. FBI agents and volunteers trudged rivers and forests. No evidence surfaced. Modern advances in digital forensics have failed to bring closure. There is no trace, no confession, only the quiet ache of loved ones and colleagues left behind. 4 years after, the courthouse lights would flicker late into the evening, as if waiting for the DA, who simply vanished into thin air. A case now as much ghost story as legal puzzle. The endless hunger. Tarrare the French cannibal. The fetid air of late 18th century lion clung to skin and throat, thick with the scent of roasting meat and refuse. From the moment he could walk, Tarrare, a frail and famished boy, devoured anything he could find: meat, rocks, garbage, and, in dark whispers, worse things. The family could not keep him fed, eventually casting him out. On city streets, Tarrare became a sideshow attraction, eating live animals, stones, and handfuls of hot coals as crowds gasped. His endless hunger baffled physicians, who documented his ability to consume his body weight in food, only to beg for more minutes later. His stomach bulged and gurgled, sweat poured down his lurid face. Desperate for relief, Tarrare submitted himself to France's best medical minds. They subjected him to every test: dietary regimens, bleeding, cold baths, purgatives. Nothing eased his gnawing agony. It is said that during a stint at the hospital, he scavenged cadaver remains, and was even suspected in the disappearance of a toddler. Modern scientists speculate that Tarrare suffered from a rare disorder, possibly hyperthyroidism or a damaged hypothalamus, which ruined his ability to register satiety. Yet, no medical explanation accounts for his taste for the inedible or his monstrous, enduring appetite. When he died of tuberculosis, doctors cut open his enormous gullet and found his stomach stretched nearly into his chest cavity, a final grotesque secret. To this day, medical textbooks cite his case as an unsolved enigma, a haunting reminder of hunger that could never be filled. We've reached the edge of the unknown, yet the mysteries linger, haunting echoes in empty halls, chilling footprints lost to time. Every answer brings more questions. Each truth deepens the darkness. Thank you for walking these forgotten paths with us. Feel free to leave your comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more mysteries like this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.